Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Dian Silva Rahmalia from Kelas Chemistry A. On this occasion, I will convey my resume regarding wastewater treatment. According to the law of conservation of mass, water does not go anywhere. The water we feel and enjoy now is inherited water. The waters of ancient times and today are the same because our earth is one. We have to think that the quality of water from generation to generation is getting worse. This must be a shared responsibility so that wastewater treatment becomes a mandatory thing to do, otherwise a disaster will occur. Industrial water treatment is increasingly complex because the composition in it is getting heavier to be discharged into the environment and the levels are getting higher. This turbulence is caused by the air being pumped into the water. Pumping air into the water is not simple because it will change to organic and inorganic components. Inorganic components can form their oxides and organic components with aeration are able to decompose by microbes. If this is done, it will have an impact on environmental conditions. The first is to pump water into the air continuously. Then step 1 is filtered. Namely filtering leaks and curves waste so as not to interfere with the pipeline. Then with the balance tank, information, equalization, and other similar things are carried out. In the balance tank, not only the composition in it, but the volume must be balanced so that the treatment can be carried out uniformly. Then continue to provide aeration so that contact with the air occurs. Then given microbes for breaking down organic solids and reducing nutrient levels. The amount of pollution can be reduced by the addition of microbes because microbes are more natural and do not require high energy. However, if the waste is too heavy, microbes cannot be given directly, but it's necessary to add chemicals first so that it can settle separately. Waste favored by microbes and inorganic compounds. Then a clarifier is carried out so that the sediment is more easily produced. Then the sediment is dried and disinfected. After that, the waste treatment is tested. Waste is polluted water. Contaminated water is not allowed to be directly discharged into the environment. In order to avoid environmental pollution, it must be processed first. Waste treatment is distinguished because it has different characters. Therefore, waste treatment must be differentiated. What are the steps of wastewater treatment? The processing steps, namely at the inlet, will go through a filtering process. Cleaning is carried out for coarse waste or large waste so as not to interfere with the next process. After that, it enters the equalization pool, which is to accommodate the excessive amount of waste. This means that in the production process, the volume of liquid is not always the same. Therefore, in order to be the same when processed, it must be accommodated in the equalization pool. Equalization means balancing, namely balancing the volume as well as the character of the waste. The character of the waste is the composition of the waste so that it is uniform. The next step is to enter the uniform pool because the volume of liquid was produced is quite large. The purpose of the uniform pool is to balance the character of the waste. After that is the cooling stage because some of the liquid waste has a high temperature, therefore need to be put into the cooling pool. Furthermore, entering the biological aeration pond is usually aided by microbial decomposers. Aeration contacts the waste liquid with oxygen for easy decomposition or degradation. Aeration ponds utilize sunlight in the degradation process. Inorganic waste that is decomposed by microbes undergoes simplification and undergoes precipitation. For example, if it is in the form of ions, the way to separate it from liquid waste is by contacting it with oxygen, and it will form the oxide so that it can settle. Then, if it has an organic compound, aerobic microbes are needed to decompose it because when the decompose, their microbes need oxygen. When finished, the organic compounds become simple compounds because when dissolved, organic compounds are difficult to separate from water and are easily precipitated. After that, it is taken to a clarifier to be clarified. Clarifier is useful for separating sediment and water. After that, it enters the settling pond and goes to the sand filter, and there is absorption or replacement of ions that are not well bound with sand, and the ion release or ion substitution occurs. The sand filter is placed at the last stage because it is to further purify the water and the condition of the incoming water is clear. Then enter into the lagoon and control, and put parrot fish as an indicator. If the parrot fish is alive, then the water is successfully processed and vice versa. Then enter the water meter to analyze the character of the water, whether it is worth throwing away.
The following is an example of wastewater treatment in a palm oil mill. That was my resume regarding wastewater treatment. So I hope it is useful. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.